What is up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the Harry Potter's controversial topic, the Hogwarts Legacy new game. If you haven't watched it, there's going to be 3 videos in this video, so boop boop boop, 3 links on the top. If you want to watch certain aspects of this video, there's going to be video description links with the timestamps in the video description. But without any further ado, let's go. Alright, so this is a review from IGN.com.
Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso!
Like many, I've been waiting for a truly excellent Harry Potter game since I was in the 3rd grade. There have been some decent attempts, but none that come close to
What the... Is this graphics?
truly fulfilling the fantasy of receiving your own Hogwarts admission letter. With Hogwarts Legacy,
Wait.
truly fulfilling the
I saw the movies, but
fantasy of receiving your own Hogwarts
this is Hogwarts admission letter. The quality.
admission letter. With Hogwarts Legacy, I'm happy to say that magic has finally been captured. Its open world map absolutely nails the vibe of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It has spellcasting combat that's stupefyingly good. The characters that inhabit it are
Graphics looks really nice.
charming and unforgettable, and it is positively brimming with countless diversions to soak up dozens of hours of your time. It may not be the most impressive technical achievement, and it is certainly cursed with a lack of enemy variety, but none of Hogwarts Legacy's issues can cast a descendo charm on this triumphant visit to the wizarding world.
Is it me, the only one who just noticed that the numbers look a little bit off? Alright.
Right in line with most Harry Potter tales before it, Legacy's plot has more holes than a fishnet stocking, and sorta just expects you to accept that its magical world makes no sense. This mystical action-adventure RPG begins with you transferring to Hogwarts as a 5th year for unexplained reasons, to do everything from attending classes to fighting giant spiders. The fantastic character creator has plenty of options for you to craft your ideal witch or wizard, and as soon as you do, they'll immediately become entangled in a conflict between the wizarding world and an evil goblin. On top of that, because being in a secret society of wizards is apparently not exciting enough, you soon discover that you've got some freaky supercharged magical abilities that allow you to do extra cool stuff that also isn't really explained. If you're like me, you'll roll your eyes while 100 years worth of dead characters lecture you from paintings about the important history and how you have to save the world or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Harry Potter. I remember I was really fan of the movies. Well, I saw only a couple of the movies, but it really never stuck to me, as I always confused logic with magic part. I'm a fan-based person that I really like the fan-based games, well, magic-based games to sum up, but I don't know, Harry Potter just never explains why it exists within this lore. I understand all of the magic, all of the cool stuff, but it never explains. And seeing that this game has the very same thing, I don't know, it's a slight of a drawback for me if I might be considering purchasing this game.
But once that's over with, Legacy mostly redeems itself with a fantastic cast of non-painting characters that help boil things down into a not-too-convoluted good guys versus bad guys conflict that ends up being a largely enjoyable tale.
A flying book.
I am afraid it is too late to study now.
You'll spend most of your time with the classmates who befriend you on campus, accompany you on certain quests, and help you hone your abilities as a magic user. Most are memorable and instantly endearing, like Sebastian, the cocky and morally pliable Slytherin,
Good for getting places you're not supposed to be.
or Notsai, the clever and unflappable Gryffindor.
I had it all under control.
Spending time with them and improving my social links through the relationship quest lines made my stay
I don't know. So far, it really looks like a very, very close resemblance to Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption 2. As this is for me, it seems like it's an open world RPG where you craft your character, you create your persona through story quests, and you dive deep into story if you wish, or just level up and do as much as skilling as you possibly can. But this is my predictions, basically.
at Hogwarts all the more enjoyable. Unexpectedly, I even found myself looking forward to hanging out with
Graphics
my
look really
professors,
good.
whether it was my main man, Professor Fig, who serves as both something of a mentor and as a sidekick, or the wisecracking charms teacher, Professor Ronan, who made me love him mostly by making fun of me.
By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another.
Each of these characters feels like an
Ha 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 ha. Hilarious.
indispensable piece of the school, and you could find them wandering the
No.
halls doing their thing and choose to spend time with your favorites. It's a huge and important part of the Hogwarts fantasy that Legacy knocks out of the park. Even better, though, is the world itself, which is packed with nearly everything I
funny.
wanted in a Potter game and more. You'll find yourself wandering Hogwarts' stone-cobbled halls and secret passageways, flying around the Forbidden Forest on a broomstick, and exploring dark caves lit only by the
Looks real beautiful.
glow of your Lumos spell. The developers at Avalanche have so brilliantly captured the look and feel of the wizarding world that I was amazed at just being there, no matter what trivial errand I was wrapped up in. That immersion could occasionally be broken by Legacy's dicey performance during my time playing on PlayStation 5, though. That includes frame rate inconsistency, weird lighting issues, aggressive pop-in while moving around quickly, and more. There's even this weird thing where every door in Hogwarts has a brief loading screen. It's understandable since there's so much packed into this beast of an adventure, but the PS5's promises of the death of loading screens haven't quite been lived up to here.
Witching for a snit stitching. Okay. I don't know. So far, the game really looks stunning. Visually, of course, there's loading screens, as we all can see. The graphics, and it should be visually a very highly demanding game. Either you're playing on PS5, any other PS console, or on PC even.
As someone who finds the wand-whipping fights in the movies fairly dull,
I know this guy.
I was very concerned that Hogwarts Legacy's spell-slinging combat wouldn't be able to hold my attention across.
Yeah, but those numbers, it's like the I don't know. For me personally, I know design a bit, but this looks like so low effort. Like they just added the numbers and we're gonna change it later on. They haven't changed the animation, the style. I personally I love how the World of Warcraft, the other games, the MMOs, that you always look at the numbers and the damages and how cool the numbers are flowing. So you invest your time into those numbers that would be flowing beautifully, so that you would have a very pleasing experience. But here, it just bleh. I don't know. Do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comments.
The roughly 32 hours.
Yeah, you see? It's just 46, 46, 46. There's no blinking, no cool effects, no nothing. And you know what's also missing? It's missing you as my subscriber. And as well, I want to thank you, all of the guys who have already subscribed. I really do appreciate that. And okay, let's just go with it.
It took me to beat the campaign. But I can admit when I'm wrong. The combat is fantastic, challenging, and utterly captivating. There's a lot more to it than shooting balls of light out of a stick. Instead, the trick is in dodging and countering enemy attacks while pulling off creative combos.
Yeah, cool.
For example,
that's
you can
nice.
pull enemies towards
saw
you with
that?
Accio, light them on fire with the close-range Incendio, then blow them away with the explosive Bombarda spell. Chaining together abilities to make your opponents look like complete fools never stops being amusing, especially as you unlock talent tree perks that enhance your skills with modifiers that make your elemental spells fork to nearby enemies or transform into AoE attacks. Many of the combat encounters are legitimately challenging too. I'll admit I died my fair share of times while trying to show off a new set of spells or by neglecting to see a goblin sneaking up behind me. Improving your skills and figuring out which spells work best for you is a really entertaining process, filled with experimentation and the occasional maiming. There's even a perfect parry mechanic, which begs to be mastered by tryhards like me looking for that extra dopamine hit that comes from a timely block at the last possible second.
Okay, this parry looks cool. I believe this is something when you're receiving an attack, you need to press certain button so that you would deflect a certain portion of damage back to the attacker. But when it comes to dealing damage, I'm sorry, but I can't relate that it looks good. It looks like you're bashing one button to do a fixed damage like 11, 11, or as we saw earlier, 46, 46, 46, and just that's it. I imagine somehow from a magic type game where if you see, for example, Goblin, right? You shoot fire magic, you do a couple of fire spells, and the Goblin's gone. And if you're doing like ice spells on the Goblin, then Goblin is taking so little damage that you would be fooled to do ice spells, right? So that you would exploit the weaknesses of certain characteristics within the game and within the races. But looking here, for me, it reflects the vibe that either the reviewer, that I personally doubt, don't know how to play the games, or the game is intentionally made for you to grind the levels, grind the skills, for you to have a little bit higher damage, so you would play more, so later on you would experience the full game perspective, where you can have cool flash animations and engage in combat. As for me now, it looks like a washed out demo of some lame ass MMO. Sorry, but everything besides the combat, I love it. Combat looks weak.
You'll also be forced to change up your tactics regularly, since many enemies have color-coded shields that can only be broken by spells of a particular type. For example, enemies with a red shield won't be damaged until you hit them with a fire-based spell, which means you'll need to keep a few of those handy. While the combat system never stops being entertaining, the creatures you fight...
That's cool. But yeah, as you can see here on the screen, the person is doing like multiple actions, like levitation stuff, and you get not 11 damage, but you have 1.8 k damage, and that's huge. So you're automatically exploiting the enemy's weakness and killing the enemy. But I doubt that you can apply this to all of the enemies.
Do run out of tricks up their sleeves.
Yeah,
You'll see
44.
the same familiar faces a lot, as you spend an enormous amount of your time fighting dark wizards,
Quite conductive, aren't we?
spiders,
Incendio.
and goblins. Every once in a while,
Levioso.
you'll trot out a troll enemy or nondescript magical suit of armor as well, but the enemy's legacy throws at you can wear thin pretty quick.
Maybe it's the RPG style. Maybe the game is more focused on the story and not on the fact that you are immortal without any capacity of how long or how much spells you can cast, and person who don't sleep and just is a bulldozer wiping all of the content.
When you're not lighting spiders on fire, you'll need some lighter activities to spend your time with, and it's actually kind of crazy just how many side tasks Legacy gives you. You could spend hours decorating your very own personal space in the Room of Requirement, go around catching, grooming, and breeding all manner of fantastic beasts, if you know where to find them, practice your gardening or potion making, go shopping in Hogsmeade, become a champion duelist in an underground dueling ring with your classmates, or even go full Voldemort and decide you want to become a master of the dark arts by learning the Killing Curse and other unspeakable acts, which
That's
goes
nice.
about as well as you'd expect if you choose to pursue it.
Naughty, naughty, you'll get caughty.
It's not just easy to waste hours goofing off. I found it downright difficult to not get distracted by a dozen things and forget what I'd originally set out to do. One of the ways you can completely forget about the looming goblin threat in the main story is by engaging in the over 100 side quests that are packed into the adventure. Not all of these diversions are equally entertaining. Some are definitely your basic go here and kill or collect this thing errands that do little more than burn some time. But many feature one of the aforementioned awesome characters, asking you to solve their problems or help them get into some good old-fashioned mischief.
Meet me outside the library tonight.
You'd never accept. You shouldn't accept those offers ever. It's just straight up weird.
And tell no one.
Like, meet me under the bridge. Don't tell anyone. Just bring your most expensive and luxurious items. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Sounds familiar? They're
It
gonna
also
rob.
helps that you're often appropriately rewarded for your efforts, whether that's earning some gear to upgrade your stats, cosmetic items to improve your swagger, or best of all, new spells. The ultimate carrot in a game where you're often limited only by what magic you know how to cast. For example, one side quest gives you the Alohomora spell, which in classic Metroidvania fashion allows you to literally unlock doors and get into places previously inaccessible to you. Collecting spells goes a long way to opening up the map and giving you a better bag of tricks during combat, and I found myself
I'm just seeing the very same flow of magics, even though the level is very, very different from level 10 to level 25, now level 27. I'm seeing the same floaty thingies, fireballs, and AoE fire.
actively
Is there
thirsting
anything
for
else?
as many of these game-changing abilities as I could get my grubby paws on. The gear that you'll find does
This is like any other MMORPG. I think, personally, if you are a fan of Harry Potter world, this game will blow you away of its complexities and depth. But if you are not a fan of Harry Potter in particular, I'm not too sure if this is the game.
doesn't really allow you to create full-on builds per se, but you'll gain some resistances and buffs to your character and can spend some time upgrading and modifying your best items for minor improvements. None of it is particularly game-changing stuff, but it managed to capture my attention enough for me to spend a good chunk of my time looking at my equipment. Of course, the real loot game is about the cosmetics, a fact that Legacy seems to be keenly aware of since they find ways to hide cool-looking clothes all over the place. These items don't have any gameplay impact, but pimping out my Slytherin legend to outshine all the kids from the lesser
That's cool.
houses is more than enough of a motivation. Best of all, you can overwrite the appearance of any gear you've got equipped with the look of anything you've acquired so far, which is
nonsense. Obviously, taking good examples from Final Fantasy XIV Online, all the gear that you come across from level 1 to any level is looking awesome. If you want to have awesomer gear, you just get to a higher level and you have different looks for different types of gear. And the more you progress, you have more beautiful gear. I don't really agree with this kind of thing where you can change the outfit and it shouldn't impact the original stats. The way I see it is that it's easier to distinguish either you're a good player, you are advanced player or not, if you have certain gear equipped. And I understand that this is a single player game, but based on hype and based on the scope and publicity that this game received, I'm pretty sure this game is gonna be released to the open to become a MMORPG at some point. Same thing happened with Skyrim, right? So I personally, I don't believe that that things are going to change, but I'm leaning towards the Korean and Japanese style of providing you with so much content and quality in every piece of material you gather, and every time you come across anything, that you shouldn't even consider changing gear looks or applying something that just looked cooler on earlier levels, because I'm pretty sure, as from cosmetics that we saw, it was only like green coat, right?
since they find
What's
ways to
next?
hide cool-looking clothes all over the place.
This is considered cool. Okay, wizards.
These
hat,
items don't
right?
have any gameplay impact, but pimping out my
This is not creation. It's just villagers hat.
Slytherin legend to outshine
This is I don't know, simple stuff as well. This is if you need to change cosmetics to match those to match this headgear, I believe this game is really focused towards the people who are fans of Harry Potter and not seen any other games that just have this thing just figured out already. Because for me, it looks like guys didn't invest too much time into developing this.
which is just fantastic. In nearly every way, Hogwarts Legacy is the Harry Potter RPG I've always wanted to play. Its open-world adventure captures all the excitement and wonder of the wizarding world with its memorable new characters, challenging and nuanced combat, and a wonderfully executed Hogwarts student fantasy that kept me glued to my controller for dozens of hours. It's certainly weighed down by technical issues, an unexciting but inoffensive main story, and slim enemy variety, but even those couldn't come close to breaking the enchanting spell it cast on me.
I would rate this game a strong 7, very, very solid 7. I can't really give this game a 10 or a 9 as IGN did. I would rate it a little bit lower because I can't really understand the combat style and the leveling system here, as well as the cosmetics, so I have to take out points from there. But the graphics, I don't really care about the performance, as I believe this game is gonna improve on the performance and all of those issues gonna be fixed afterwards. So it's a common thing to have issues during launch. But the depth, the graphics, the feel of the game, the whole vibe, I think it's very, very easy to notice that
Utterly captivating.
the game easily captures your attention, and the detail, the graphics looks really stunning. I know that I'm not personally a fan of Harry Potter stories, and I'm not really a fan of Harry Potter Legacy combat, but I can't really tell you my points and my verdict without telling you how great the game is. So yeah, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna purchase this game right off the bat when the game is the game is ready for purchase, but I'm not too sure if I'm gonna invest $60 or even more for deluxe edition. But I will consider purchasing this game when this game gonna be on sale. So maybe during Easter, maybe during summer sale, I don't know. But as per now, I think I'm just gonna wait and see what kind of more of the content game will offer, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be new secrets revealed, new updates gonna be coming, as again, this game is widely popular and it's receiving so much media attention right now that it would be stupid even from my side, even though I'm not a Harry Potter fan, not to cover the game and not to talk about this type of content that is such a big hype and such a highly anticipated topic to be covered. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but with this game, there's a lot of publicity, and not all of the publicity as always is positive. And usually what happens, any sort of game comes out and you have publicity in regards to the game's performance, either a game is good, bad, or it's waste of your time, and you shouldn't even consider investing your time even looking how the game looks. But this is not the case. What happens within this game? This game received a controversy from the game's company CEO called J.K. Rowling, basically attacked trans community, and it just created such a big backlash in the gaming community, where there was a lot of gamers who were willing to purchase the game as they're fan of Harry Potter in general, but they couldn't because of this person statements about the transgender community. And I will be showing those statements on the screen. Just ignore the advertisement. I'm not paying for this but anyways, I'm just gonna read couple of tweets from J.K. Rowling. Just it's crazy that such a high level person as a CEO role could just speak those things. It's insulting to everyone, such as people who menstruate. I'm sure they used to people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. And she just backlashed at people. I'm not even gonna pronounce. I'm already regretting reading those tweets. And there's not only one article, there's numerous of articles. I just picked this one because it has a lot of tweets listed, so it's very convenient for me. But it's it's just sad. I personally have no issues with any sort of transgender or any sort of gender, whatever flows your boat. But the fact that, man, you're you're releasing the game, you are on such a high public reputation, and your statements is so visible to everyone, even despite the fact that you are releasing the game. If you are a CEO, you are representing the company, and your beliefs, your statements are reflect on your company and your decision making, your acts of work that you already completed, and having sorts of things said that you can't accept another people who just feel other way besides you, and it's just morally wrong. I know that later on J.K. Rowling, I think maybe after a week, she came down her ladder and decided to apologize for her statements, but I'm not too sure how it's possible. Well, I'm personally from EU, right? From Europe. In Europe, we don't really have such a big problem basically with. I'm not aware of like communities backlash from black people, from transgenders, as there's no so much of an open discussion as there is in US. But the fact that I see so much communication about these things happening constantly, regards to the LGBTQ communities, gay communities, trans, different color people, right? And still, the person who is living in the same country that has such a high standards, how good of a person can be treated, and what this person standard to be accepted in the community, right? To be respectful and thoughtful of other person, not to harm their feelings. And yet, the CEO, whose main job is to be publicly representable and as respectable as possible to all of the communities all around the globe, not even the US, manages to mess things up so drastically, so unthoughtfully, that it's just mind-blowing, right? If I would be in the company that I would be working for this person, I would really consider if this is the value that I wish to be represented of. As I believe that I can't place myself in the shoes of J.K. Rowling, as I would never say those things. But if I would be working in a company as a developer, for example, and J.K. Rowling would say those things, imagine the kind of thing where afterwards you would need to look for a different job, or say that I worked on this game, and just on the single fact that CEO that was working on the game development was the lead production CEO on all of this thing, said transphobic things, and you as a person, part of the team, part of this company, you will have difficulties later on looking for a job, expressing your ideas, your ideologies, because this person backlashed on one of the communities that is wildly growing and is very respected and very open towards respect that the community should receive. And just imagine being in that person's shoes, where in every interview you go to or a company you open to, you're gonna explain yourself why you are no longer transphobic, or so do you like trans people? So this is conversation that no one should ever receive during any sort of topic, and it's just wildly outrageous that this person is just not even saying this to anyone. Like, if you're racist, just shut up, don't speak about it. But tweeting about it, like tweeting, come on, this is not even inappropriate. And these sorts of results, it's not only coming from a standpoint of it's only me who's triggered, only the YouTube community, right? No, it's the huge outlash on the fans of the game. And there's even records of the fans saying like, what the hell, what the F. And everyone, there's even consideration and boycott towards the game, where the trans community started creating basically I don't know, the petitions. Yeah, that's what it's called. The petitions basically for you to stop purchasing the game because the game is transphobic. And despite anyone or any of the parts being of transphobic kind within the game itself, and I know that even there's a trans character within the game, right? But that doesn't change the fact that CEO, whose main job is to sell the game, is saying bad things on trans community, and trans community saying, if you buy this game, you are against trans people, therefore you are transphobic. It's mad crazy. And I believe one of the best responses and best results would be, and that was discussed even earlier before this game is released, is that if you love Hogwarts Legacy, if you waited for this game for such a long time, if you haven't pre-ordered it, if you don't want to support the company that is transphobic, or the CEO that is transphobic and is getting money out of you, right? The best it would be just buy a used game, not from the retailers, but from the people that play the game, that have like game CDs or something, and that you could just simply have the game without supporting the anti-trans CEO. And yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. That's fucking insane how people can treat other people like that. It's, I don't know. It's, everyone is speechless. Basically, there's a huge backlash. Emma Watson, like every single person that could be involved is involved in this shenanigan. And I know that the person already, J.K. Rowling, has apologized for this, but the damage is done. And it's not like you can step in shit, you can take out your feet from the shit, but sting that you got, it's gonna take a while for it to wipe it off. It may be just so big of a damage that something's gonna change. Or it maybe not, she's a CEO, so I don't know, shareholders will have to decide her fate. But on other note, there's a guy, I haven't subscribed to this guy, but this guy has just released a video. I'm just gonna play it for you. I just saw part of it, I just want to watch it with you. So what's your intake for this?
Hey, bro, I just ordered Hogwarts Legacy.
Excuse me, nigga!
What's good, bro?
Bro ain't my pronouns, bitch. Did you really just say you getting that motherfucking Hogwarts game?
Yes, ma'am.
If you buy Hogwarts Legacy, read any of the books, have any of the merchandise, watch any of those fucking movies, you are contributing to transphobia.
Jesus Christ, how?
Because J.K. Rowling is a transphobe and Harry Potter is deeply rooted in transphobia. Everything J.K. Rowling does, including breathe, is transphobic.
Well, what did J.K. Rowling say exactly?
I don't fucking know.
And it just goes on and on and on. Basically, it's just comedy sketch. But I'm gonna share the link about this in the video description. But one way or another, yeah, make up your own mind. It's very controversial topic. I personally feel very lucky, and I feel very lucky that I'm not such a huge fan of Harry Potter. Even though I'm a fan of RPG and third-person games as such, I'd like to try it out, but this backlash, it's, I don't know. It kind of easily pushes me away from trying out this game, or just looking forward to being more interested about it, or just following up the news about it. But again, I couldn't resist not to cover this topic, as I'm sure that a lot of you guys are into the games and following up latest trends and having fully pledged story is interesting for you. So I hope that you liked this video. This was a little bit different one. And I don't know, if you liked the video, press like, share and subscribe. I want to thank you for all of the subscribers that has already subscribed for this channel. And much love to you. Thank you guys for following. Thank you guys for subscribing. And see you in the next one. Bye.